know you like that. Come on. You know you like that.
Good afternoon. Well, good evening. Welcome back to Live It Out Inc. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, like our page, and click share. But welcome to Live It Out Inc., where we have real conversations that inspire healing, growth, and transformation. Thank you for joining us for another powerful episode. Tonight's conversation is one that is deeply needed. This conversation, trust me, guys, our topic tonight is healing the broken black man. Too often, black men are expected to carry the weight of the world while silently carrying pain, trauma, disappointment, and loss. Society has taught many that vulnerability is weakness and that asking for help is something to be ashamed of. But tonight we're changing the narrative. I have a very special guest. He has a podcast called Just Rambling. He's out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and his name is Rebere Speaks. So, Rebere, can you come on out?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. Rebere, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
If you have your AirPods in, they may disrupt the sound.
No, I don't have AirPods in.
Hey, I can hear you both clearly. You can't hear him?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, maybe it is her phone. Can you hear us, Mom?
We're having a little technical difficulties. Please stand by. That
Y'all
means the
stand
devil
by.
don't want y'all to hear this message. It's so powerful. Y'all stand by.
Stand by for 2 minutes. Don't leave.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, can we hear each other now?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, let's go.
Have your phone propped up.
How y'all doing?
I got it. Good. I gotta clean this up. Let's go, Duck.
No, do you have your phone propped up?
I don't. I gotta hold it. Don't worry about me. I'm good over here.
Okay, well, just don't have your hand. Don't put your hand to block the screen.
Gotcha.
All right. Y'all have a great show. Sorry, live it out.
That's
Enjoy.
That's what's up. How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome. First of all, thank you for taking the time to come out with us. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Right. So just to kick it off, I wanted to ask you, when you hear the phrase "a broken black man,"
I'm sorry. Can I say something really quick? I feel like
you can. Please introduce yourself. Let's stop.
No,
We're gonna reset. We finna stop. We finna slow it down because we're not gonna rush through this. We're gonna slow it down. I want you to tell us a little bit about who Rebere is before we get into these questions.
Gotcha. So I just wanted to say, I know, and great introduction. I just wanted to mention a couple things or correct a couple things. So one, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio. It's okay. It is just fine. Cleveland, Ohio, and my name is Rebere Sparks. And but I like the speaks part. I might actually consider doing something with that. Rebere Speaks. So So I appreciate that. So yeah, but I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Born and raised. I actually grew up in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. 39 years old, got 3 kids. Got a story that God gave me, and here to tell it. Like I said, I'm definitely excited to be on the podcast. I want to tell you thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and we do apologize. This not like us. We're not like this. This is so not like us. But that's okay. Whenever you got a powerful message to tell, something I always try to distract it.
Like
But
that,
it's
don't
on. You got to keep pushing
trying, don't
through.
it? We're good. So come on.
All right. So when you think about a broken black man, what does that mean to you?
Okay, a broken black man. I think when I hear broken black man, I think about a man that has been through some difficult times, trials and tribulations. Some may have experienced some type of traumatic experience or situation that has caused him to be broken. And broken meaning like shattered. And so I'm sorry, not shattered, but broken being like hurt in some way, shape, or form to some level of capacity. That's what I think of when I hear like a man is broken or had been broken. That's how I see it.
So can you and then not too much, share as much as you like.
Yeah.
Share a moment in your life when you realized you was carrying like emotional wounds. Like, have you ever been to the point of being broken?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think yes, I have. I have been broken. If I could think about some, and I've had a few experiences in life, I would say that cause a level of brokenness, but I could think about like childhood things, right? I could think about things that's happened in my childhood, and I think a good majority of us actually deal with or work through like childhood trauma. I think that's what normally shows up in our everyday life is like things from childhood. And I would say when I realized I had those childhood traumas, I would say more so through relationships, right? So I was married for like roughly 10 years. And I remember going through my first counseling session with actually my pastor at the time before I actually got into therapy. And I was asked like how I was feeling. And I remember kind of reverting back to a situation that happened with me when I was a child, and that feeling of, I would say at that time as a child, I felt a level of like abandonment. And it was interesting because here I am talking to my pastor I don't know what happened. You still there?
Yeah, we're still here. We're still here.
So I remember going through and having a conversation about divorce, and my mind took me back to a time in childhood when I had felt like a level of abandonment. So, and that's when I realized, like, man, I got some work to do, right? So I ended up getting into therapy. Shortly after that, I was working for a corporation that offered like a handful of like free therapy sessions. Yeah. And I took advantage of those. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is very eye-opening, So yeah, does that answer your question?
Oh, it does. So when you started when therapy helping you kind of see things from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So what experiences I know you said that childhood trauma had a lot to do with it, things how you felt back when you was a child. Mm-hmm. And at what point did you realize healing was necessary and not just survival? Because we can just push through the pain. We can keep going. But at what point did you realize that, hey, I need to do some healing and not just keep surviving throughout this thing called life with all these emotional wounds and all this mental stress and anxiety?
Yeah.
So like, what was your breaking point?
It's a good question. I think honestly, I think like my I don't necessarily say like breaking point, but I think like my level of awareness and a need for change, it was actually most recently, it was actually within the past couple like years. All right. Okay. And I noticed like, I don't think anybody is perfect. That's why I think that we all are like on our journey of like being perfected. But I started to notice like a pattern, right? Just in whether it's like my friendships and my intimate relationships, just with myself, right? So I take a level of accountability to be like, okay, I need to change this. So, kind of like I digress a little bit. I took advantage of those free sessions through my job. And I've probably had over the course of maybe the past like 5 to 6 years, 3 to 4 therapists, right? And I think right. So, but the cool thing is anybody that's like not in therapy right now, I encourage. It's almost like dating, right? So it's never a perfect situation, but you know you kind of like you get what you like, right? And you connect with someone that understands you. Thankfully, I'll say every single one of my therapists, they connected to me during those times in life, those experiences I've had over the past like 5 to 6 years, and they helped me where I was at during that particular time. So like my therapist now is he's amazing, you know, black male therapist here in the Cleveland area, and we have conversations. I would say based off like my awareness, right? So my awareness of like needing to take accountability with myself so that I can like improve in life, right? Because I don't want to continue to like have the same experiences, right? And then I think a lot of people, this is again just my opinion. I think a lot of people, it's hard for us to look at ourselves to see like, oh, okay, like what did I contribute to, you know, where I am right now. You know what I mean? Like what role am I playing? And I think that if we actually take the stance to start working on ourselves, then we can help other people. Because I've always like had this heart. I want to help people. I want to help here. And it's like that analogy of like if a plane is going down, you know, and your kids are on the plane, are you going to take the oxygen or are you going to give it to your kids? Right. And I remember that this question was actually posed to me when with one of my previous therapists. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give it to my kids first. And they're like, well, it makes sense to that because if you give it to your kids and your kids are breathing and you out of it, then how you gonna help them, right? So it's like help yourself first before you begin to like help other people. And I think a big part of that is being able to like look within yourself and see what needs to change. I still got you.
All right. I'm not sure what's going on with her, but I do have some of the questions that she's sent, and we can just continue until she can log back in.
Yeah.
In the meantime, y'all, if you have questions for Rebere, put them in the chat. Send up a
Where can I see this chat at too? Because
it should be on the side.
Oh, I see where that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yep, it should be on the side. I'm trying to follow the questions. One of the questions was many Black men are taught to survive rather than heal. What is the difference?
I think, and again, this is my opinion. I think so. What's the difference between, if I'm hearing you correctly, healing and surviving?
Yes.
I think survival comes from like experiencing some type of like traumatic situation, right? Or having to survive something, right? So I think as men, and I've even seen people that are very, very close to me do this, including like my dad too, but like having a situation that it's not going to change overnight, but then you're just surviving it. You're doing all the things that keep your head afloat, right? You're doing all the things that protect you from like going under, right? Protect you and those individuals that are with you, right? So say you got kids or you're in a relationship. The mindset of seeing or assessing your situation and being like, I have to survive this. And then you got healing. Healing is recognizing that you have, like one of the first questions she asked about, brokenness, right? Or some type of trauma or some type of offense. Like understanding that I need to heal from this. Otherwise, I'm just going to always be trying to survive, right? Because it's almost like you hear a lot of people say this probably in church, like bleeding on people, right? You don't want to be like having conversation or trying to help someone through something and you bleeding yourself. Mm-hmm. So I think a big part of healing is sometimes like stepping back, right? Stepping back, having that level of, I don't even call it like necessarily isolation or solitude, right? And I also think in my own experience, you can have solitude while still surviving. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Your situation can be very much so chaotic and you can still find healing in a chaotic situation. I don't know if that makes sense. I know my own experience. I've had to do that multiple times, you know. But I definitely would say when it comes to just being a man, like in my own experience, I've had to find myself like healing during, like at the same time while surviving. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
No, it does. And it's strength when you know that you're in a healing process, or you're broken, or you're at a place where you can't give anymore right now. So that it's strength in saying, like you said, step back. Like give yourself time to heal, so you won't bleed on other people. You won't put your hurt and your pain on other people, because people internalize and make it about them. So it's strength in saying, you know what, at this season of my life, it's time to step back. It's time for me to go and work on me. Time for me to heal.
yeah.
So I agree with you on that.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's so interesting? I'm gonna use this analogy actually now that I'm thinking about it. So recently, I had rotator cuff surgery, right? And I tore my rotator and also my bicep tendon. And then going into surgery, I don't know if you all ever had surgery before, but when you go on, they prep you and then they put you under, they give you like an anesthetic, right? And then once you get the anesthetic, they begin to start working on you and cutting on you. And I never forget, shout out to Pastor Lisa here at church called House of Jubilee. She gave me an analogy one time that sometimes God would allow you to still be cut on and worked on, and his grace is like equivalent to that anesthetic. Like it's gonna get you through, but eventually you're gonna have to like deal. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that pain.
Right.
So it's so interesting enough, right? Like for me, it's like perfect timing to ask me that, right? Because I just got out my sling. And
You reference it to Moses in the burning bush, and you saying being in the fire but not consumed by it.
Oh yeah. You want me to talk about that? You want me to talk about? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can't hear you.
Get her back in this party. Get yourself back up in this party.
You go ahead. Yes, you can talk about that. You can elaborate on that.
All right, cool. All right, and you can keep asking questions, Miss Janice too, and but I can hear you. So yeah, the analogy about Moses in the burning bush. One of my chapters in my book is going through the fire and not being consumed, and I kind of referenced when God got Moses' attention. He got it by letting him see a burning bush, right? So the bush is on fire, and anybody that's human, when you burn, like I like to set my fire pit off in my backyard, right? And I know once I, set up the firewood and all of that, I put a match to it or wherever I do it, and it's gonna burn and it's gonna turn eventually to ashes. And I think for Moses, he saw this bush and it's on fire, but it's not being consumed. Mm-hmm. When scientifically it's supposed to be like broken into pieces. And I think that's kind of like how God gets our attention, right? We'll see someone in a situation that's be like, man, their life is on fire, like it's going crazy. And what can draw us to God is like, man, how are they not being consumed? Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh man, like I got through my situation by me. I'll be like, man, I don't know. My answer is always gonna be God. Like God wanted me to get through this situation for a reason. I didn't see myself being on no show. I didn't see myself having no podcast. I didn't see myself originally writing no book. I didn't see myself having conversations with men or hey bro, I got this going on. And it feels really good to be able to have an answer for them, right? Mm-hmm. Because I've been able to like endure a very, very hot situation.
Okay, understood. So we have a question. Diane asked, what's the name of your book? It is scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. But tell us about your book.
Yeah.
Dadding During Disaster.
Yeah, Dadding During Disaster. So I actually, this book actually started off as a journal. So one of the things that I was advised to do while I was in therapy was journaling. Journaling was like highly recommended, So it's like, hey man, like you got something on your mind, like put it on paper, get it out, right? And other ways I would do it would be working out. But anyways, I started off just journaling. And before I know it, like I got this notebook, and the notebook was similar to this, similar like one of these notebooks, right?
Position books.
Yeah. So book was like 98 cents at Mark's, right? Mm-hmm. So or notepad. So I get to write. I'm writing. And then one day it hit me. I'm like, man, this actually can be a book, right? And one of my frat brothers, shout out to Michael Copeland. He actually has Copeland Consulting, and we were on the phone one day. We were just talking, man. He's like, man, you should write a book, man. I said, man, I think I actually got a book, man. He's like, yeah, send it over to me. So I sent them, because what I did was I transferred like my what I wrote down in my notebook in a Google Doc, right? So I'm just in this Google Doc. I'm like, man, because who knows, right? I can lose the thing one day, right? And so I sent them to it in the Google Doc. I'm like, hey, look, this is what I got. He like, dude, this is a book. Like, this is powerful, right? So interesting enough, the book started off with it's like 120 pages, right? Handwritten. And so sent it over to Mike. Mike did his thing. The book originally was like 10 chapters, but this was a course of 8 years, right? So it started off as 8 chapters, and then over some self-reflection, over some accountability, over some other experiences, it went from 10 chapters to 8 chapters, and then 8 chapters to 13 chapters, right? And back to that point I made about bleeding on people. If you were to read like the first 2 chapters, it's like, oh, brother, you bleeding, like you going through it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to read this. Interesting enough, in the conclusion of the book, I was like, man, I got one more chapter I want to put in here, but I wanted to be the first chapter. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, I want the first chapter to be entitled Accountability.
Okay.
Right? And so
started out with accountability, first chapter.
That's chapter 1.
Okay.
Chapter 1, right? Because we ain't nobody's victim, right? So it's like, okay, what role did you play? Like, how did we get here, right? And so that's the first chapter. But yeah, it's a great book. I actually Father's Day. This past Father's Day at my high school, Cleveland Heights High. And so it was it's an amazing book. I'm proud. I'm actually very proud of it. At first, I'm like, I don't want to release this, right? Because I'm thinking about everybody that's involved. I got children, my children's mother. I'm thinking about it. And I think I was very strategic on how I actually wrote it, and it's a guide to help men stay in their children's lives, right? Because like I said, we all go through stuff. And I think a lot of times with men, we'll go through something and with the children's mother, and we close that whole chapter with the kids in it, right? So we'll walk away not just from the relationship, but then the kids. Like, no, the kids ain't got nothing to do with the relationship. The kids are fruits of the relationship, and they need you. And a lot of dads, I found, be like, man, I just pay whatever I got to pay. I get with you. I'll holler at you when you're 18. When really, fathering really is about just figuring it out. There's no perfect dad. There's no such thing. But I think we hold these standards to ourselves as men sometimes, like, man, how do I father? Just get to know your kid. And I'm 39 years old. My oldest is 14, middle is 11 and 9, and I'm still figuring it out as I figure it out, because they're going to grow just like me, right? So this book is really dedicated to dads and men. Like, I'm encouraging you to stay in your children's lives no matter what.
I know Janice is on somewhere behind the scenes wishing she can hop in. I'm not a parent, but I know being a child, it's hard. I understand daddies and daddy issues, and it's so important for fathers to be in their child's life, especially daughters, both daughters and sons. It's important for men to be present, period. Just having that role model of a father. It ties into women deciding what type of man they want to be with, a date or marry. But for me, when you don't see that representation a lot, I don't even want to get married. I'm like, I don't see no happy marriages.
You don't want to get married anymore?
I mean, I do, but it becomes that process. Like, I don't see an example of men stepping up. So I'm glad that you did this book, speaking to men, encouraging them, telling them, like, you're important. You're an important part of the picture.
Absolutely.
Raising family, even if you're not there in the home with them, it's important that you be present, show up. Right.
I would say this too, and I'll say this too in regards to that, right? So, like, I'll never forget this. Back in like 2014, my pastors at my church at the time, they gave this great message. Church here's House of Jubilee, Pastor Trotter, Apostle Willie and Michelle Trotter, and they gave this amazing message on grace, right? On how important grace is, because grace gets us through. It gets us through, right? So, right, whether that's God's grace in us, and we don't have everything it takes to get through a tough time, or you make a bad decision, and God's grace is that thing that keeps you being able to go, right? And I found in my own experiences that sometimes poor decisions can make us feel like it's the end of the world for us, make us feel condemned, right? And I've been there before. I've been the guy that's like, man, I can't bounce back. How do I bounce back from this? So like, I'll encourage men, bro. You say you made a poor decision, or you did something that you had no business doing, or you working through a thing. Just understand that God's grace can get you through, right? People, you're gonna always be looking for the forgiveness of people, right? But the interesting is, if you got a relationship with God, like, God is gracious to forgive us if we ask for it, right? And that's a forever relationship. It's a forever relationship, So I'm saying that to encourage me, because you mentioned like, man, you don't see no examples. Like it's gonna be, there's no perfect relationship or situation. It's just not a perfect relationship or situation. And I think once people realize like my situation ain't perfect, but it can be perfected, it'll help keep families together.
Yeah, just putting forth the effort goes a long way.
Yeah.
When you see the man putting forth the effort, like for me, that's you knocking it out of the park. Just you trying, not you stepping back, taking your hands off your kids, not wanting to be involved.
Right, no. Right. And don't let social media fool you either. You see these extravagant lives, and you could, and one of the biggest enemies is comparison. Like, don't be comparing your life, man. Be yourself, and be who your children need you to be. Be who your significant other needs you to be. Not what social media is trying to tell you need to be in order to survive. I think that's another big issue with relationships, and then just men and women, right? Comparing their situation to other situation. No need to compare. So
okay. Any more questions in the chat? We do have one. Janice is still hosting from the sidelines. And the question is, where do you think the message "men don't cry" come from?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that message, I think it comes from, I think it's more prevalent in the Black community that men don't cry, right? So me, I played sports my whole life from the time I was 5. And that was something I was told then, you know what I mean? Like, you experience some level of pain, whether it's physical, emotional, like men don't cry, right? One of the things is I thank God that I was able to see my dad, right, to a good capacity of, I've seen my dad cry. The cool thing about seeing my dad cry is he a prior service Marine, right? And I know he ain't no, he ain't no sucker, you know what I mean? Yeah, right. But I was able to see dude cry, you know what I mean? And I remember looking at him like, oh, dude crying, like, and I always say this, I think my dad did the best he could for what he had, right? But I think that message is in communities like, or in our community, like, man, men don't cry. Like, crying is it is a symptom of something, right? It's a symptom of something, and it's also given to you. Like, it's a part of your makeup, the ability to cry, right? It's a reaction to whatever you're experiencing, right? So I would say that's come from just a overly, like, I don't know. I think it just came from men just afraid not to just be, express how you feeling. Now, I would say this: when you communicating a level of hurt or pain, make sure you communicate it to the right people. Like, have those small groups, have those friends that you could be vulnerable with. I got a friend that I could call. We can talk about anything. You understand what I'm saying? And like, we can talk about anything and be able to break down. You know what I'm saying? And I still respect him as a man, and he still respect me as a man. He ain't thinking nothing crazy about me. I'm not thinking nothing crazy about him. But I could talk to him and be like, bro, that's how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? He'd be like, bro, that's how I'm feeling. So I think community is very important. And debunking that, man. I'm not saying go out there and just be crying all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, why you always crying, bro? Like, but I'm saying, like, right
to cry.
Yeah, you got the right to cry, bro. If you're going through something, man, like, you can talk about it, man. Like, it's okay, man. You can cry. Like I'm here for you. Because if you feel like as a man you don't have that, then you thinking you're the only one. It's just like, man, I'm the only one, and nobody gonna understand me, and I'll be soft if I do this, right? It's just perfect time for me. I like to use this message out of the Bible. You know who Elijah was in the Bible?
Yes.
Right. So Elijah had, there was a decree put out that Jezebel wanted his head, right? Well, to take his head off, one of them dead, right? So he goes to this cave, right? And he's in there alone. And I always thought about, like, why did he go to this cave? It's because here you go, got Elijah that is making everything happen. He asking God to send fire from on, from on high, and he's doing these signs and wonders in the name of, God, and he like, I'm the only prophet in the land. Then so he runs to his cave, not knowing there's thousands of prophets just like him. So what I took from that is, as men, we can think that we're the only one experiencing something and nobody gonna understand. So he had his mindset, I'm the only one, I'm the only prophet standing for God. Like, no, bro, it's so many, there's thousands of you, but you thinking it's only you, and then you go run to this dark cave, right? And thankfully, he poured into Elisha, and Elisha was able to get him out of there, right? And so my message to men, like, bro, you ain't never the only one experiencing what you experiencing. You're never the only one experiencing what you like. Nothing that you experiencing, you're special, but you're not that special, bro, that you like dealing with this by yourself. There's so many people dealing with what you're dealing with. So yeah.
Yeah, so when you out there on the basketball court with your guys, are y'all opening up like how women open up when we at brunch? Or what y'all doing on the basketball court when y'all talking? What y'all talking about on the basketball court? Y'all talking about y'all emotions?
Talking about life. I mean, I play football. Yeah, I play football, but my circles now. Well, yeah, when we talking out, we in the gym, right?
Right. Yeah.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said, ain't no time to talk on the football field.
Yeah, ain't no time. Yeah, we got to be out there doing things. But no, I would say conversations now we have them more so in the gym, right? That gym is like a for me and the guys I work out with. It's like a sanctuary. It's like a place to just go and release, and a place to be able to get whatever is happening to you that day or that week just up off for you. You know what I mean? And while we're doing that, we're having conversations about life. You know what I mean? What's going on with you? You know what I mean? What's good? You know what I mean? Or we go get something to eat. You know what I mean? Meet up for some food or some drinks and just get talking. But I would say that's normally where we're having like those conversations. You could just have a candid conversation with your homeboy. What's going on with you, bro? You good? Like, yeah, man, I got this going on, right? And we encouraging each other to do the workout. And we all know while we there, we got the what's the word I'm looking for? The real life situations is going on, and we know all we in. We're gonna get through this together.
So it's a safe space.
It's a safe space for sure.
In the gym. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Want to make sure the men got somewhere to go to, because some men don't feel as vulnerable at home that they can't talk to their wife or whatever, and some men do, but. I'm neither in any relationship, so I can't help y'all on that. Y'all on your own. Here's a question as well from the audience. I think I heard you had kids. As a dad, what do you do when you're overwhelmed and overstimulated without putting any emotional burden on your kids?
That's really good. So I found, and I've grown through that too, right? So I can say I've actually experienced both sides of it. But I've grown to realize when I'm feeling a level of stress and I'm needing a release, I communicate it. I'm letting them know, because that goes right back to when I was able to see my dad. If he's had an experience and he began to cry, whatever that might be, we didn't really talk about it, right? But when I'm experiencing things, I'll let my kids know, hey, look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, and of course, I know how to communicate it to where they not taking on grown folks, like issues, right? Yeah, but I'm able to communicate it, right? Hey, look, I need y'all to go do this. I'm about to go on a little walk, you know what I mean? Or we'll go to the gym together. Shout out to the gyms, they got child cares, right? and, hey, take my kids there, you know what I mean? And I just go release some stress, you know what I mean? Sometimes, I can hit my mom up. Hey, what you got going on? You know what I mean? Nothing. Hey, come here, you take my car. You don't take the kids. Yeah, I come pick them up, or I go do this with them, So I've learned to have outlets, but effectively be able to communicate to my kids, like what's going on with me. You know what I mean? Does that answer your question?
She'll come in the chat. We have another question as well. If your children read your book years from now, what do you hope they understand about their father that they may not have seen while you were living through your difficult season? That's a good question.
It's a good question. I can see it here on the side. I'm gonna reread that really quick. If your children read your book years from now, what do you hope they understand about their father that they may not have seen while you were living through your difficult season? I hope that my children, when they get older, that they have a new level of appreciation for me, right? Because I'd imagine that even though they're my children, they're gonna go through grown folk stuff, right? And I think when they have their own experiences, they're gonna be like, dang, like I want them to be able to like, man, my dad a good dude for real. He ain't perfect, you know, but he a good dude. And he was able to navigate through a very difficult time for us. So I hope when they read it, if they read it, you know, that they learn a lot of stuff. I think they will learn that they're human and they're going to forever be learning and growing. I'm sure our conversations will be different from then because I may learn something. I'm going to learn something then that I don't know now, right? Mm-hmm. But I hope that they realize that I am a resource for them. You know what I mean? I hope that they understand that, you know, they are human and it's okay to ask for help, right? I hope they understand that they are going to have some challenging situations, but just get through it, right? Just get through it, no matter how tough or difficult, no matter what it looked like, just get to the other side of it, mm-hmm. you know? And I just hope that they just have a love and appreciation for life and what builds you and what's going to build your character. And that, and that they have a relationship with God, whatever that look like.
Major. One more question from the audience. What's the one chapter of one lesson you hope readers don't skip because it's the one that has the greatest potential to transform a father's relationship with his children?
What book at?
You're supposed to have them books on there. You should have had a stack of books, right? Selling them.
They come over on the other side of the living. I mean, on my space now. Don't judge me now. Are you cool with that? All right. Hold on one second.
It's all right. As many technical difficulties we had today, it's all good. Janet's still trying to log in. Mom.
All right, we're going to be organic up in here.
Oh, yeah, always.
I'm back.
Oh, she back. Okay, cool. All right, give me a second here.
Let him answer the question then. We're going to go an extra 10 minutes because we started 10 minutes late, so you can finish off.
You good. So give me, what's that question one more time?
What's the one chapter of one lesson you hope readers don't skip because it's the one that has the greatest potential to transform a father's relationship with his children? What can't they skip? It's the main one that you need.
Don't skip none of them. But because they all are powerful and meaningful. Let's see.
Take your
man. That's a difficult. That's actually a good question, but
you need to ponder on it. You need to ponder on it.
A challenging question. The one chapter and lesson you hope readers don't skip because it's the one that has the greatest potential to transform. You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a couple of them, but just the answer so we ain't sitting here. I think accountability, chapter 1. Accountability, right? I think as like ordinary people, sometimes it's hard for us to take accountability of our actions, right? And but I think taking accountability in anything that you do, you kind of better understand the situation, right? And you know, I hear people too, and some of my friends talk about it, like, man, take yourself out of it. You take yourself out of it, and you assess the situation. Like, what does it look like without you in it? But I think like if you take accountability to your role and whatever it has happened, right, in your life, right? Because nothing happens just to you; it happens for you, right? So each lesson we experience is going to teach us something about life and mostly about ourselves, right? So I would say don't skip over chapter 1, you know, for real. But I got some other ones in here too.
You can come back and add it to the chat later. You can come back and respond to the question in the chat.
Yep. So because it's So we'll come back to it. Let me think about that. But I got some other ones in there too, for sure.
All right, mine's on you.
Okay, well, thank y'all for welcoming me back. But did y'all talk about safe spaces when it comes to like the women in your life? And I put a
Mm,
couple of my questions in the chat because I wanted to know what makes a woman emotionally safe for a man. Y'all was just talking about, how the fellas get together on the basketball court or y'all playing football and you kind of relax and you can talk to your fellas about some things. But what does that look like at home? How do we know we're providing a safe space when at the same time we rely on you to be our strength?
that's a good. Where you been at, Miss Janice? No, these some good questions. That's good.
And it's every
So you
time
know what?
Duck go out. Duck, you can't go out because you keep turning the sound down.
Yeah, stay here. She gotta stay in here. She be wanting to leave
I would
so
say
bad. Why you want
I
to
just
leave
turned
so
my camera
bad?
on.
Come on, you
Yeah,
gotta
every
be here.
time
If you
you
ain't
go out, the
noticing, you
sound
gotta
go
be
out.
here for a reason. I don't
Okay,
know what
I'll
it
fix
is,
your
but you
computer
here.
later. Focus on the questions, y'all. Focus on the
All right,
questions.
you gonna focus on the question. All right. So how do a
You
woman?
got the hearing.
Yeah, how does a woman find? Ask the question again. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? She can't hear me. Okay.
Can you hear me,
So
Mom?
I can
what
hear
what I
you.
think what I
You
think
say
what I think
ask
you
the question
asked me
again.
basically is
What makes a woman emotionally safe for a man?
got you. All right, good. So I think this. So I've learned this is a lesson I've learned. I've learned this lesson that um
My questions are
women
in the chat, so just pull up the chat. I'ma log off because y'all can't hear him.
stay here.
Yes,
You
we
okay?
can.
Stay here. You all
We
right?
can hear you. You just
We can
stay
hear
right
you.
there. I asked
Yeah,
the
stay
you
here.
asked
So
the
listen.
question.
Can women support? Without taking. Okay, got you. So I think a safe space. So I've learned is that women, when you all are when you feel
You ready for the next one?
okay, here we go. Here we go. So men, we thrive off respect. That's big for us, right? We thrive off respect, and then women, y'all thrive off feeling safe, right? But one thing I found is that when a woman feels unsafe, she can be disrespectful. And when a man feels disrespected, he doesn't feel the need to provide safety. Right. So, how can a woman, to your question, how can a woman create that emotional safety? I would say, you know, don't ever take what a man tells you or shares with you and use it against him.
Mm.
Understand that? So if a man is sharing something with you, right, that's because he trusts you or feels and believes that he can trust you. But the moment a woman takes what a man has like confided in her with and uses it against him, whether you know this or not, you've kind of become an enemy in a sense. And that man probably would never really kind of like forget that unless you take some accountability, right? And you can ensure that that won't happen. But I'm gonna be real with you. Like, don't disrespect him. Like, just don't disrespect him. You know what I mean? Like, if he's going through it, be supportive. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you to be this. How can I say that? This emotional like um, landfill, right there, where he's just pouring everything on you. And I think most men, if you learn whatever your situation is, you learn not to do that to your woman anyways, just like throwing everything on her, right? But I would say just to be at home, like don't disrespect him. Don't disrespect him and don't take what he gives you and weaponize it. Because the moment you do that, right, you're no longer his safe space. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of women kind of be trying to figure out, like, why my man do this? Why he do that? It's because somewhere along the lines, maybe you didn't become his safe space, and then vice versa, right? Okay, because maybe somewhere along the lines, that you didn't feel the safest to this woman. You know what I mean? So I would say just don't disrespect them.
Heavy on the don't disrespect.
Yeah, just don't disrespect them.
You got a next question, Mom?
I do. The next question is, what should women avoid saying or doing when a man finally opens up? What will give him the pushback? Like what some things that women say that'll kind of make a man won't open up, but he'll shut back down.
Yeah, like I back to what I was saying before, like taking what a man shares with you and like weaponizing it, right? Or comparing, right? Say you compare your man to another man, right? Or your man to another like your previous situation or some of your other experiences, right? Then trust me, that man gonna realize, hey man, I ain't supposed to be here, man. Like, and he may dwell with you, but at the same time be like, hey, nah, this ain't healthy for me, right? So just watch what you say. You know, Players Club is like, watch your tone. no, I'm being silly, but no, like I honestly, I think it just boils down to respect, and I would say that it's important for women to be able to learn that, like what it looks like to really support a man, you know, and you know, and I don't think there's like a handbook, but just notice that I think men can really go sometimes without love, but thrive off respect. You can be next to me and not love me, but if you respect me, I'm gonna notice that men just fine. I think men can really go sometimes.
You gotta turn it on mute, Mom.
Thrive off respect. You can be next to me and not love me. I heard myself.
But she's trying to listen back on Facebook.
Okay, cool.
You can go to your next question.
Okay, so this one is really for me. How can women support healing without taking responsibility for fixing a man? You know how we always like, you know, if it weren't for me, he wouldn't do this. If it weren't for me, he wouldn't be able to do this. So how do we support the healing without taking the responsibility to saying I did this? Because a man only changes if he wants to.
Okay. So you're saying pretty much like, how do women like, so how do you not take like the burden of trying to like fix a man?
You're saying, how do you take the burden to not fix a man? He said.
Yeah, so you don't have the like, you don't feel like you fixing a man, to be more in a supportive role. And I guess that comes with experience and being in relationships where you meet somebody or you meet a man where you see the potential, a woman sees the potential in a man. You can kind of like, okay, but he need a little push, or he needs some motivation, or he needs to be exposed to some other things just to enhance who he already is. So how do women be supportive instead of feeling like they fix the man and don't take, you know, taking the credit for it?
Taking the credit for like his development and his, okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, I'm gonna say like, and again, I'm not a professional, so you know how the internet is, like his brother didn't say it. So I think the first thing I would say, why, as a woman, why are you in a space where you feel like you need to fix a man? Like, what is it about you that you feel like I need to fix this man? Like what is it like? And why do you think that you're that qualified to fix the man, right? And so there's nothing wrong with you encouraging your man and being there for him, especially if he's your husband, right? But like, because that's what women's supposed to be. You'll be a helpmate, right? But like fixing a man, you're probably not going to be able to do that. That's not your job. That's God's job to fix a man, right? Or a physician to fix whatever's going on in a man. But like, you can't have a mindset like, I'm about to fix him. That's where you're going to get in trouble in the first place, right? So I would say, one, do a self-evaluation or like a deep scan on what is it in you or with you that feels like this particular man, whatever he got going on, you need to fix him to your liking. Because what will probably happen is if you don't fix him to your liking, which you probably won't, you're going to resent that man. And if he does do his own development to you, you know, the statement that you made at the end, like when a man decides to, because when he decides to, now here you are broken and hurt, and you upset with other men. Like, I had a man get his stuff together and just leave. He left for a reason.
I can't hear him, Paul. I mean,
no, it's fine. That's Puff talking. Continue.
Okay, all good. But like, yeah, and you got to kind of like ask yourself a question, like, why do you want to have that talk path of like, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have been blah blah blah. That's not partnership. That's not partnership, right? That's like that. One of the best examples I can give right now, Ryan Coogler, like I seen this man praise his wife at so many levels, right? But he had to look within himself, like, man, if it wasn't for this woman and being who she was and there for me, man, I wouldn't even be where I'm at, you know. And just from hearing him talk about his wife, I could probably imagine that. And this is just, again, this is me speculating, that his wife probably never threw in his face, like, if it weren't for me giving you that little money, you would have never been Ryan Coogler. The world know it, right?
Classes.
You're right. So right. I think it was more so. I'm speculating, right? But if I'm imagining it, it's probably she's like, baby, we gonna get through this, because she probably see the potential in him and saw the potential in him. She bought into his vision, and look at them today, right? And that man praises his wife. He'd be like, man, if it weren't for my baby, man, we would not be here, right? So I would say, like, make sure your heart is pure with this man that you with. Right. If you in it just to be like, if you can see the potential and you just want to be like, oh, I got him there, then your heart is probably be in the wrong place. And you probably should just leave him alone and just let someone be with him that's like,
because equally yoked with, because we're not yoked. I gotta fix you up.
Yeah, because if you gotta use that against him, then hey, we already in a bad space, right? So
project.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, does that answer your question? I don't want to go too much further on that one. Does that answer your question?
She can't hear you, but that was a great answer.
Cool.
We got time for one more question, Mom.
Cool.
Well, not a question, but kind of like a rapid fire. The first thing that comes to mind, if you could finish this sentence, real strength is what? What is real strength when it comes to a Black man?
Real strength. The ability to navigate through a difficult time, being patient with yourself, and being able to communicate it and getting through it, and not really like looking like your situation.
That's rapid fire.
Okay, one word that describes your healing journey. One word.
Interesting.
On your healing journey.
Interesting.
Next.
Okay. Oh, what's one thing every Black man deserves to hear? I think I know this one. What's one thing every Black man deserves to hear?
You are enough.
He said, "You are enough."
I like that.
What were you
one book every man should read.
Woo, just one. The Way of the Superior Man. And she said just one. Never mind, just one.
Now you can go to your next one. You can.
Okay. one habit that changed your life, and then I got one more rapid fire. One more.
One habit that changed my life. Working out.
He said, working out. You get out when I want you to highlight working out.
Okay.
Highlight working out.
One last one. What piece of advice would you give to young Black boys? Especially yourself, teenagers. Let's do these teenage young adults.
Oh, you know what? So this is good, because I work with youth too, right? So and my son is a teenager. So I tell him all the time, man, just be yourself. Be yourself, okay? You know, you are enough. You know, don't be a follower of the wrong things, right? And I like to tell them too, it's okay to dream. It's okay to think, right? Because everything that around us is started off as somebody's like thought, and then they spoke it and it was created. And I think a lot of young men like to fall into the same, I'm sure y'all can walk down the streets in Atlanta and a majority of the young boys look the same. They all like are falling into this like this pattern of who I'm going to be, how I'm going to do it, and how I'm going to speak, how I care myself. But just be yourself. Be individually yourself. One thing that's always going to stick with me, nobody has the same fingerprint. Nobody has the same fingerprint, right? And just understand there's a reason for that, and just be who God created you to be. and leave your own fingerprint on this earth.
All right. How can people purchase your book? We had a question. How can they buy your book?
Yeah, you can purchase my book right now. It's on Amazon. So the name of the book is called somebody put TRYNs. Funny. So you can find my book on Amazon, and you can also find more about me. So if you can find me on YouTube as well at Rebere Sparks Media. I'm on Instagram just as Rebere Sparks, Facebook as Rebere Sparks. I'm on Spotify and Apple. You can find. I also have a podcast, just Rambling the Podcast.
So when do your podcast come on?
So the podcast is going to resume at the end of August, right? So we recorded the first half of season 2, and we will be concluding the second half August and September. Okay.
And they can watch on YouTube.
Yep, you can watch it on YouTube. Yeah. You can also listen in to it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well.
You have any more questions, Janice?
No, I mean, that was it. I could go on and on because I done missed. I got to go back and watch it. I done missed basically the whole interview. But I do tap in and watch your podcast, Just Rambling.
Yep, Just Rambling.
Then you just took your daughter on a little date.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, they have.
I thought that was too cute.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing some real positive things for the Black community, especially for the Black man. I support that 100%. So you do have a fan in the ATL. Whenever we do something live for Live It Out, we'll try to get you to come touch bases down here with us. Thank you again for joining in. You dropped some gems on women being safe spaces, brotherhood, iron sharpen irons, helping brothers heal and all of that. So really, the work you're doing is not going unnoticed. You are really doing your work, your ministry, whatever you call it. You keep going because it's needed. It's much needed in the Black community. And on behalf of Black women over here, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. For the rest of you guys, Live It Out Inc., we will see you guys next week. Hopefully.
We'll get your laptops together.
Yeah, y'all gonna be all right.
Actually, at my job, I destroyed my original laptop. Water got in my laptop, my phone, and some more stuff. And I was just working off a prayer and a promise.
All right.
It's all good. All right. There you go. Throw your L's up.
Throw your L's up. Live It Out Inc. Continue to live your best life. Don't just live it out. Live it full out. All the way out.
There we go.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
Okay.